Good morning, Brian C. Smith, Berkshire, Hathaway, HomeServices, EW Realty. I am here today at Via Miami in Edgewater with Dario Stoka.
Hey, Brian.
Dario, thanks for having us out. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
And I just want to dive in really quickly to this project, hit on some key points, and talk about why this project is really exciting and really amazing for Miami. So, Dario, now I can be a little hard-headed. You know, I'm a numbers guy. When I analyze a new residential development, I consider the price per square foot, the developer's history, the location, and what is the differentiator or wow factor of the project. So as a starting point, what are we looking at here at Via on a price per square foot basis?
We're starting full floors roughly 1,500 a foot, half floors roughly 1,600 a foot, and going up since we have 55 stories. But generally speaking, we're blended at about 1,600, 1,700 a foot.
1,700 square foot.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wow. So based on that price point, this seems like a really good deal. I mean, 1,000 Museum, built in 2019, is currently priced between $1,545 a square foot and $1,847 a square foot. So, you know, let's get into talking about the developers. So 1,000 Group developed 1,000 Museum in Park West, and Terra is a developer for South Beach's latest high-rise 5 Park. So 1,000 Museum buyers who purchased in pre-construction have seen their investments nearly double despite a dip in prices during COVID back in 2020.
Absolutely.
So now 5 Park is nearing completion in mid-2024 and has seen a similar rise in prices during the new construction phase. Are these the best examples of recent nearby projects by 1,000 Group and Terra?
Yes, they are. And I'll give you a couple more, but I love what you brought up. The two most important things are price per square foot, which, as you mentioned, we are priced very well. Our building on the water would cost $5,000, $6,000 a foot. It's in Edgewater. It's a beautiful community that's growing, and it's in the middle of everything. But most importantly, or as important, is now the buyers are so smart. They want to get in where the developers are the best, and we have the two best developers. So it's important when you're buying pre-construction, because you don't know what you're going to get into projects that have developers that already have existing buildings that are award-winning, as you mentioned. Zaha Hadid's 1,000 Museum, 87 Park, Terra. Terra also transformed Coconut Grove with Grove of Grand Bay, Park Grove, and now Mr. C. So you have all the information you need to make a qualified decision in our building, because you have the two best developers plus Major Food Group, which is actually a partner with us. And then our price per square foot, since we just started, we have first day pricing. As we mentioned, 1,600 to 1,700 blended average. I think it's a great value proposition.
Wow. So basically you're getting new construction at better than or same as resale pricing.
Absolutely. And wow. As a matter of fact, as a little aside, my partner and I actually purchased in the building ourselves because we see the value as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent. I lived in Edgewater for about 7 years. I lived in Star Lofts for 1 year. I lived in Onyx on the Bay for 2 years, lived in Paramount Bay for 3 years, and then I even lived in Wynwood Bay for 1 year. And a lot has changed in that time. The skyline of my marketing materials, you know, it feels like it's doubled or tripled how many buildings we have. On the waterfront, there's really nothing left. The people living in the neighborhood has changed a lot of financial and entrepreneurial people coming in from California, from New York. And one of the things I'm most excited about is there's a Whole Foods going in right down the street from Via.
Yeah.
So, you know, but pretend I know nothing about Edgewater. Pretend I've never lived here. I'm coming in from California. I'm coming in from New York. You know, you're talking to people through the video. Why Edgewater?
So why Edgewater? Great question. And the answer's changed over the last 20 years. Initially, when I started this 20 years ago, we were selling paraísos and stuff just because of price point issues. Because it was too expensive on the beach, so we brought them over here, and they were getting stuff at $600, $700, $800 a foot. I think the demographic has changed, whereby they want a little more from their communities. There's proximity to the airports, proximity to Wynwood, proximity to Design District, which is now a world-class destination. I think the proximity to everything, you're 15 minutes from the beach and 15 minutes from the airport. I think the location's great. And generally, we're seeing a lot of Edgewater buyers coming into our building. So people that live in Edgewater love Edgewater. So why Edgewater? If you ask yourself and other people, they love it. They come in. We have people from 1000 Museum, Biscayne Beach, Alizé, and a couple of other buildings that are already bought in their building. So Edgewater is a place to be. And another answer, the reason why I mentioned I bought in this building is because I've been in this for a while. South of 5th used to be, no one wants it. Now it's one of the best places. And then it turned to Coconut Grove, no one wants it. And now we're selling at 2,300 a foot. Edgewater, I think, is the next vestige.
Okay. So the diversity in Miami's population is very special. And this impacts the food that we see in people's homes and in restaurants in a very positive way. This is the first residential project I have seen where two powerhouse developers have partnered with a restaurant and hospitality company. How will this shape the amenities and services in the building?
Great question. Great question. We're very excited, by the way. The hospitality company is Major Food Group, as you may be aware, with Carbone, Contessa, Teresi in New York, Sadel's, and a number of others. It's got 42, not just within the country, but also in Doha and Riyadh. So it's an international company, and it's always growing. And they're not only licensed, but they're partners. Many places have a licensing agreement with their operators, where it's an actual partner. So we have 3 partners, 2 of the best developers, plus Major Food Group. And there's an integration there that normally doesn't exist in a building. For instance, you go to a beautiful building that has 20, 30,000 square feet of amenities, and you walk in and they're quiet. No one uses them. Why? Because they're not being operated correctly. And that's why these 2 developers, Terra and 1000 Museum, brought in Major Food Group to help with that, to seamlessly integrate what we give. And Major Food Group will tell you, from when you wake up and when you go to bed, they want to help, they want to service you, whether it's bringing breakfast to your villa, or on the 3rd floor, or helping you out with a reservation, or helping you get one of our fleet of boats, or helping you with the helipad, whatever it is. There's a seamless integration that is a buzzword in our project.
Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so you've got 2 of the best developers in town. You got Major Food Groups who's done all these amazing restaurants that everybody always talks about. What else can you tell me about development?
So the great thing about our building, one of the great things is we have only half floor and full floor units, villas. 10-foot ceilings on the lower floors, 11 on the higher floors, flow through from east to west. So starting at 4.6 million. So the buyers here love that when they buy, it's like-minded people around them. So 3 or 4 bedrooms for the half floors and 4 or 5 bedrooms for the full floors, that's it. You have a helipad, you have a dock, we have the only dock in Edgewater. We have a floating pool on the bay, as well as a pool to the west. We have 30,000 square feet of amenities. We have a 2-story Major Food Group restaurant. I can fill this up. We have a beach club. Nikki Beach is going to be our beach club. You can spend a day on the water. You can spend a day. We have a spa on the 5th floor completely. It's all a spa with plunge pools, infrared saunas, you name it, we have it. So we have a little bit of everything, whether you want to stay in the building or you want to go out. We always have your reservation in our restaurant, but if you want to go to Carbone, which is a 6-month wait currently in Miami Beach, we get you in the next day. So you become part of the family when you get into our building. And again, seamless integration is what you're going to get from Major Food Group.
I'm a former Navy officer, so I'm always thinking about the logistics. How do we get to and from home, right? And so I see this thing just talking about like by sea, air, or land.
Exactly.
You know, I feel like I'm in a Navy commercial. Can you talk about that a little bit?
That's a good point. So we're the only building you can arrive via land, sea, or air. And it's us and 1000 Museum have the only helipad. And I'll tell you right now, we're selling full floors to people who have helicopters, one in Naples, one in Mexico City, and one in Monaco. They love the aspect because they're like-minded individuals. They say their buddies are going to want a helipad as well. And we're almost under contract with someone who took a helicopter over from Naples to Opa-locka this weekend, and we picked them up and brought them here. And they love that aspect of it.
Okay, so maybe Jeff Bezos will swing over from Indian Creek for dinner every now and then.
We've been talking some big names. So we have some celebrities in the building already.
Very cool. Thank you. Okay, so with Major Food Group being involved, I mean, obviously, food is going to be a big highlight of the project.
Absolutely.
Is there any special considerations? You know, wine really makes food taste amazing.
It does. Yes, as a matter of fact, on the 3rd floor, we have a members-only lounge, resident lounge, let's call it. And there we have an area set aside for wine and some cigars in the room. In addition to our vault that we have for precious jewels. And then we have an extra area on the members floor as well that you can have your own private dining experience. If you don't want to go down to the major food group restaurant, they can bring you up the food there. Or if you don't want to leave your villa, they can bring you the food there. Sadel's is one of our restaurants. We're going to have breakfast delivered on the 3rd floor down there, and then you can also have it in your villa if you'd like. But generally, you can bring whatever beautiful wine you'd like to the 3rd floor, leave it in your area, and then when the food comes up, you can grab your wine and drink.
Well, very cool. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
I hope you've enjoyed this presentation on the ultra luxury project Villa Miami, selling now in Edgewater, Miami. I am Brian C. Smith of Berkshire Hathaway, HomeServices, EWM Realty. Feel free to contact me at 305-318-8200. It will be my pleasure to show you Villa Miami and other top real estate opportunities in South Florida. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.